Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Recently we were on vacation and had this happen to us, which I understand is not uncommon for our model of F-150. The rear door, aka the suicide door, malfunctioned and could not be opened. Although the door handle is working as it should, if I had been armed with this video and just one tool, I could have at least diagnosed the problem and forced open the door in a pinch. I could have then used the repair shown here to permanently fix it once we got back home. Observe on the other functioning door the fact that there is a cable-operated latch both at the top and bottom of the door that will come into play. For the permanent fix, I was able to pick up these cable stops for just under $9, and I'll show you how they work and how you can fix this problem yourself. So let's get after it. Whether you're in a bind and need to get your stuck door open or you're working on a permanent fix, this door handle needs to be removed, and that starts by removing this screw cover with a flat-bladed screwdriver, or even your F-150 ignition key. If you're in a place without your sockets, try and make it to a local hardware store and pick up a cheap 6mm nut driver and remove these two screws. Now the door handle just comes right off, but it's what's behind the handle that makes the difference. Shown here are two levers, the upper of which gets pushed and the lower that gets pulled depending on the motion of the door handle. On observation of the back of the handle, your knee-jerk reaction to these two arms might be that something is broken, but it is normal that one arm is offset from the other. Shown here is just how much they are offset. I'll explain why soon. To access the cable for the lower latch, slightly retract the door panel and reach in and grab the cable shown here and pull it out. Based on the amount of play at the top of my door, my suspicion is that the lower latch is stuck. Observing the fragmentation and absence of a cable stop, I'm certain of it. You can hear the lower latch release as I pull up hard on the cable and sheath. Now I'm reaching inside and pulling the lower handle lever toward myself, and lo and behold, the door opened. This scene was real-time and not staged. A closer look at the latch mechanism shows just how badly this one cable stop has deteriorated. You'll need 4 of these for each door repair. Circled here is the lower handle lever I pulled to open the door. For the beginning of the permanent repair, the door panels must first be removed. Note that we are using plastic door panel removal tools for this step to avoid marring the finish. This left side upper panel has 3 clips, whereas the right side has only 2. For this final panel, 3 screws must be removed. Note that my truck does not have power rear windows. If your truck does, then it will have a control panel similar to this, which needs to be popped off, the underlying switch wiring disconnected, and 2 screws removed. I bumped the lower door panel with the heel of my hand, and it is lifted, removed, and rotated, revealing the 7 hanger hooks. The door's 7 panel hanger receptacles are shown here. Let's take a closer look at the cable stop on the upper latch. It already appears broken loose from the mechanism, and if I just barely retract it, oh my. So there's a fragment that is stuck inside the latch that I'll need to clean up. Tracing the cable downward, we locate the bottom of the upper cable stop on the door handle mechanism. This one looks better than the others we have found, but it is split pretty badly and will be replaced as well. Let's take one final detailed look at how the door handle mechanism works. Note that while pressing on the bottom lever, the upper cable is drawn downward, thereby releasing the upper door latch, and conversely, when it's working properly, the lower cable is drawn upward, thereby releasing the lower door latch. The upper door level pulls on both cables in the same manner, except that it works when the door handle is pressed in the opposite direction. We will start the cable repair here since the stop on this end is completely shot, and the ball on top of this cable can easily be raised and lifted out of its socket. The bottom latch has 3 screws that, if removed, will enable us to take the assembly indoors to repair it. Full disclosure, I pre-peeled this vapor barrier back in advance so it wouldn't take so much time on camera, but we need to peel this back far enough to get our hand down inside the door. Take your time, and if you do happen to tear it, consider using duct tape for the repair later on. Now you can do this now or later, but I'm unclipping the cable in advance of removing the lower latch assembly. Closer examination reveals this cable stop has dry rotted like the others. I'll post a link to Amazon in the description section of my video, and it will point you to where I ordered the upgraded replacement parts shown here. The kit I ordered contains 8 pieces, 4 for each door. It's important to note that the heads on 2 pieces are milled differently than the other 6. One of these goes at the top of each door latch, and I'll show you why soon. I'm laying down 2 of the 6 pieces here to show their perfectly rounded heads versus the 2 pieces with the milled heads. We will begin the cable stop repair by elimination of all old leftover plastic and rubber from the old cable stops. I'm being very careful with the wire cutters so as not to cut into the cable. Pull on the cable head to allow yourself more room to mount the stop. Press the cable stop with a round head onto the cable sheathing as far as it will go. The tip of the sheathing should be pressed all the way up to the neck of the cable stop. Now the old residue is removed from the latch end. Mount another cable stop here that has a round head. Again, press the sheathing all the way up inside the stop as far as it will go. Place the neck of the stop onto the latch receptacle like this, and take your slip-jawed pliers with both hands and press the stop firmly until it seats fully into the latch receptacle. This cable is ready for reinstallation, starting with the ball end first. The problem is we can't fit this new stop behind the handle plate and press it in place without loosening the plate to give ourselves more room. It only has 3 screws, so let's get after it. The head of the cable is reinserted through its socket, and then the neck of the cable stop is rested on the receptacle. The slip-jawed pliers are once again used to press the stop into place. Note how the vertical slit in the stop is rotated away from the receptacle opening so they don't line up. This is to prevent the cable from slipping out. The handle plate screws are retightened. Note the screw alignment before inserting the lower latch back inside the door. A suggestion here. During this process, rather than placing one arm inside the door, holding the latch in place while blindly trying to thread the screws located underneath the door, I placed one finger inside the latch hole from the outside of the door once the latch was set in place, and I moved the latch back and forth on the outside while finding the proper screw alignment, all done while laying on my back underneath the door. The vapor barrier is now pressed back into place. The old cable stop material is removed here first to allow you to slide down the sheathing while working on the latch at the top. Slide the sheathing all the way down as far as it will go. Our receptacle on this upper latch is being blocked by this metal plate, thus the reason for the new cable stops, which have been specially milled. Place the lock onto the cable, then turn the body until you can press the head into the receptacle like this. Then rotate the head to prevent it from exiting. Press the cable sheathing into the cable stop as far as it will go. A replay will show a wider view where I clipped the sheathing back into place. For the final installation, I shifted the cable from its receptacle to the side in order to properly press on the stop. The neck of the stop is rested on its receptacle and pressed into place like all the others. Again, the opening in the stop is rotated away from the receptacle opening. Let's test the fix before going any further. Once again, without the handle in place, I had to reach around and pull on the lower lever to open it, and it works just great. So, the door panels are reinstalled. and the handle is next. Note that this upper arm must fit into the circle here, and the lower arm into the circle here. Now I got lucky with my installation because if it's mounted correctly, you should have spring resistance in both directions like this, with no looseness or flopping of the handle in either direction. The screws are inserted and tightened. And the door tested one last time. Be sure and try to open the door by moving the handle in both directions. The job is completed by installing the handle screw cover. My assistant, Mr. Baxter, seems to like our fix. Thank you for viewing, and if it helped, please consider subscribing. Till next time, this is Dean with Pilot View Productions.